select the PPS background until you can select, and you can feel free to turn on camera with beautiful backgrounds designed by our publicity chair, Christine.
There are 4 steps to becoming a paid member, which comes with a myriad of benefits, and they are as follows. So first, you would fill out the PPS membership form, and as a reminder, any link would actually be interactive. So if you haven't already, please do fill that out. Please pay the membership fee on Venmo at our Venmo PPS at UCI. And in the spirit of PPS, to receive your PPS t-shirt, remember to email our lovely internal vice president, Ali Mills, at her email here. And then remember to keep track of your virtual stamps as well through the stamp sheet. And as an important reminder, please remember to sign up on the form right here before paying on Venmo. And if you've already paid your dues, then please do fill out the membership form, because we cannot confirm that you are a paid member until you fill out the form.
So here comes this week's pharmacy topic of the week. And the title is How Pharmacists Can Protect Patients from Outdated COVID-19 Treatments. As everyone knows, COVID-19 has been here for a while. So there's been a lot of research and science going on behind on how to effectively tackle the pandemic. So one of the major concerns is that there's certainly at the maybe in the previous stage or the early stage of the pandemic, there's some research that suggested unconclusively about the use of hydroxychloroquine against COVID-19. So that eventually led to an overuse or overprescription of hydroxychloroquine in the duration of the pandemic due to inconclusive result from studies and of its effectiveness. And as you may know, hydroxychloroquine is antimalarial, treats autoimmune disease such as rheumatoid arthritis, and has quite a high adverse effect. And from the data, from the article I've linked on the title, it's basically said there's an 80-fold increase of new prescription for the drug, and some prescribers may not be super familiar with the drug efficacy because maybe they're not doing as much as of a targeting any autoimmune disease patients. Basically cause a mass new prescription, and also include former president's anecdote on the efficacy of the drug. It kind of all contributed to this panic of getting hydroxychloroquine to prevent COVID. So how it affects public health, it basically quickly depleting infantry that hurts long-term treatment patients, the patients who actually have like autoimmune disease. And also the FDA has also received more than 10,000 serious health incidents involved the use of the drug. So as a pharmacist, it is important to be the gatekeeper to check because, as pharmacists, you're originally not in particular in this case, but it is critical for pharmacists to check for allergies, potential drug interactions, patient understanding of how to use the drug, or whether the prescription is appropriate for the diagnosis. And here this is no different. We are the last barrier between the patient and the drug, and we must stand ground against inappropriate use of this particular drug without data supporting it, and also open discussion with prescriber for risks and benefits. I think it is very important, not only in terms of like a relation between different healthcare workers, but it's also important, like in general, just to be able to communicate with different other people to work for the best for the patient. And it doesn't need to be combative all the time. We can just because we both have patients' best interests at heart. So this is the recap for our last week's intern social. Great job for the interns for hosting the event. And thank you everyone who attended. We hope you enjoyed the game as we played and have fun at the socials hosted by our wonderful interns. Recap for DKICP virtual school visit. Thank you everyone who attended. We hope you enjoyed the seminar that we have on diabetes and were able to learn more about their PharmD program.
An upcoming event that we have is going to be the Week 5 general meeting, and it's going to take place on Wednesday, on April 28th. And as usual, it's going to be from 6 to 7 p.m. Where you can find it, there's the Zoom link right there. And the reason why I think you should definitely come to this general meeting is to learn about the underserved communities in pharmacy, which I personally believe to be very important regarding any pre-health career, to have that perspective and to be able to have a more well-rounded understanding of the world and the different needs that the patients who might come through your door one day might be needing. And so if you're interested, paid members will receive a stamp for attending. And as a reminder, we do have breakout rooms which open 15 minutes before the actual general meeting starts at 5:45 p.m. And so if you'd like to mingle and speak to board members and interns and foster those closer relationships within our PPS family, please do come if you're able to. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact our external vice president, Dana, at her email here. Another upcoming event we have is going to be the Washington U virtual visit. It's going to take place on Saturday, April 24th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And where, as soon as you sign up on this form, the link will be sent to you, and the deadline to sign up is by tonight at 11:59 p.m. And why come? Well, why not see what Washington University School of Pharmacy has to offer? And it's going to be a great opportunity for those who are potentially interested in going out of state for their pharmacy school experience as well. So as usual, paid members will receive a stamp for attending, and here's your Google form. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact our lovely internal vice president, Allie Mills, at her email here. And then please be sure to complete the evaluation form after attending for a stamp. Alrighty, pizza. So when is the Blaze Pizza fundraising event happening? It's going to happen on Friday, April 30th. It's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. And here's the address. So it's at the UTC location. And why you should come is because it's a great opportunity to not only support PPS, but to enjoy some delicious pizza and kind of get out of the house and just safely mingle with other members of PPS beyond the virtual setting. I'm sure we all have Zoom fatigue at this point, so I think it would be a great opportunity to just have a lot of fun and be able to experience a different kind of side to PPS. And so some of the logistics of this event is that 20% of your meal will be directly donated back to PPS. And if you're planning on using an online order code, then that's listed right here. So the two ways that you could order is through the Blaze Pizza app or through blazepizza.com. And if entered correctly, if you're going to be using the code, you will see a 0.01 discount applied to your check, which will confirm that 20% of your transaction is going to be counted into the total donation. And another important point to note is that this event is only going to be valid for pickup, curbside, or carryout only, so please be aware of that. And so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact our fundraising chair, Ryan, at his email here, and then to complete the evaluation form. Thank you.
An upcoming event that us and UCSD are working on is the UCSD CSHP. It's basically a presentation about learn more about the basics of asthma, trends in vaping, and what pharmacists do to help. This is a great opportunity to ask current UCSD pharmacy students about anything pharmacy related and more. So it will happen on Tuesday, May 11, 2021 from 7 to 8. And the meeting ID, Zoom meeting ID is provided. And if you're interested, paid member will receive a stamp for attending, and you can fill out the form to RSVP if you plan to attend. So if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, please contact our president, Jenny, at her email. So the event we've been looking forward to all year is going to be our upcoming 2020 and 2021 banquet. Our social chairs have been working very hard on this, and so I hope you guys will take the time to attend and just really have fun with us. And so it's going to be happening on Saturday, May 22nd from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be on Zoom.
So the reason why you should attend is there's going to be a lot of games, superlatives, and equal opportunity drawing with prizes and very interesting opportunities that we've been planning out for quite a while now. And so please come celebrate the hard work we've put in throughout the year with your PPS family and participate in fun events. And even though we're virtual, we definitely want to make it a good experience for you guys. I hope you really take the time. And so if you are interested, please fill out this Google form linked here by Friday, May 14th at 11:59 p.m. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact our wonderful social chairs, Michaela and Clayton, at their emails listed here.
So in addition to the banquet, this is a Riddle Me This challenge we have in prior to the banquet. So stay tuned for the Google form you will need to fill for that if you want to participate after our general meeting, as you will get a chance to receive an extra raffle ticket for our upcoming PPS banquet opportunity drawing.
As you know, we have a lot of opportunities to offer you guys. And so the Dream Lab volunteering event is another way that you would be able to kind of volunteer during this climate and give back to your community. And so the deadline to complete this form is going to be on May 12th at 11:59 p.m. And there's going to be a Dream Lab application. So that's actually on your mobile devices if you are interested in participating. And what I found really cool about this event is that it actually allows researchers to harness your phone's energy in order to conduct the data that they need for research. And it's going to run calculations while you're asleep and see how many of those calculations are made throughout the night. And a little bit more about DreamLab is that it's a free mobile app that enables smartphone users to, again, harness the collective processing power of their mobile phones to speed up disease research. And if you're interested, then the incentive for that is going to be paid members will receive a stamp for attending. So please do fill out this form by the deadline. And again, the deadline to complete this event is May 12th. And in that Google form, please be sure to screenshot proof of your participation after the first session. So we do have some kind of verification that you did complete this event. And I think there's actually another cool COVID project that you can also participate in beyond the one that we offer. So check it out. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact our wonderful president, Jenny, at her email here.
So we have the PPS/PUPS bingo card fundraiser still going on. This is the last week we're doing this. We are super, super close. We're like 1 spot away. PUPS is like 3 spots away. So please, please donate. What is happening is basically we help support PPS and PUPS by filling out this donation bingo sheet, because 65% of all donations from both sheets will go to the Asian Pacific Fund to support the AAPI community in response to violence in recent times. And if both PPS and PUBS sheets are filled, 100% of those donations will directly go to the fund. If you're interested, send in your donation via Venmo, either PPS at UCI or PUBS at UCI. Again, I think we only have 1 spot left and PUBS has 3. So, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact me at my email. So here comes the fundraising corner. You may notice that we don't have Jamba Juice anymore. You may question why. Because we officially sold out all of our Jamba Juice BOGO cards. Thank you everyone's support for the Jamba Juice BOGO card fundraiser. And here are still some of your options you can help to support our organization. And I guess I will start introducing each one of them. So we have the custom stickers. We have our new sticker design on the right, which is the Sleepers Artist sticker. It will be $2 per sticker, $1 for shipping. But if you buy 3 of our stickers, any design, will get free shipping. So you can also click on the link for the purchase. We also still doing Krispy Kreme digital dozens. Basically, you'll receive a dozen of glazed donuts, a check for that, and then you can just redeem it in your local store of Krispy Kreme. It'll be $10 each, and you can place your order and you'll receive your purchase at week 8. And you can go ahead and purchase that also on the link on the slides. And last but not least, this week we announced that we are currently selling our academic year 19 to 20 PPS t-shirts. This is a vintage sale. It's $3 only, and unfortunately, it's only limited campus pickups. But it's a great way to restore that nostalgia of having an in-person PPS vibe. Or if you just want a good t-shirt to wear, to have, then go ahead, go get it. So you can also purchase it on the link provided. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me again at my email. And as we approach the end of the year, we're going to select our next board. So please feel free to join our board family by applying to be a PPS board member. And it will be it's available on our weekly email since week 2, and you can also access the link to the application in the slides. Application is due next week, Wednesday. So one week till applications due. So if you really want, to have train your soft skills, hard skills, or whatever, or just want to join the part of PPS Sport family, please feel free to apply. The interview will be scheduled via availabilities listed on the application. And if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, please contact our president, Jenny, at her email.
Alrighty, for the ZaRX podcast, everyone, episode 7 is now out. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. So the overview of episode 7 is that Dr. Eric Samuels will be sharing his journey from academia to industry for those who are particularly leaning more towards the field of pharmaceutical research. And so you could find this podcast in a variety of avenues, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcasts, and etc. And the reason why is to learn about the direction of pharmaceutical industry and the flexibility that the field of pharmacy offers when it comes to career changes and mobilities. I think it's a very fascinating podcast to listen to, so definitely check it out if you would like. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact our fundraising chair, Ryan, at his email here.
And at the end of this general meeting, we'll participate in the I Love My Org competition for spring quarter. So if you would like to take a photo and beyond and nominate us to be one of the best supported organizations, please feel free to stay after this general meeting, and we'll be hanging around. And if you want to join, turn on your camera and have your background on. And yeah, we can have a photo together. And yeah, if you would like to support that, please do so.
Please stay connected with us. We have a variety of different social medias that we would love to get to know you on. And so we have a Facebook page, Pre-Pharmacy Society at UCI. We have Instagram, Spotify. We do have a collaborative playlist. So if you know any really chill songs that you're really vibing to right now, then please add it to our playlist. We'd love to hear it as well. We also have a 24/7 study room. So if you're feeling lonely, come check it out. We have a Discord, and so we actually post a lot of important announcements on there as well. So please do stay connected. And here's our website. And you might think, what is the globe doing here, just randomly in the middle of the slide? Well, actually, it's an icon to the past presentations and slides that we've ever done. So if you're interested in becoming a pharmacy technician, for example, you can go ahead and check it out. Check out the presentation in regards to that. So that's why I have that there. Alrighty, thank you, everybody.
And now please welcome Dr. Megan Nguyen and Ms. Hedy Ha from the UCI School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences.
So I learned so much about your organization during that presentation. First of all, I didn't know there were so many creative anteater images. I'll have to ask you guys to please send some my way. And I'm very impressed by your study Zoom room. I mean, now that you don't have a library to meet up with each other, I think you've been all very creative in creating these avenues to meet up. So applaud to all of you for creating these different avenues to touch base and connect. So with that, I will go ahead and start my share screen though. And, before I get started, I wanted to thank Dana. I know you reached out to us on behalf of UCI's Pre-Pharmacy Society to come present today. And, I don't think Hedy needs any introduction to this group. Of all the virtual recruitment fairs that we've been a part of, I, really made it a point to really highlight what an amazing, advisor she is. And I know all of you have benefited from all of her input, her insight, her advice all these years. And we're just very fortunate that she switched over from biosci to the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. So Hedy, I do believe you had just joined us not that long ago, but is that correct? I think I saw you on the image.
I'm right here.
But okay, perfect. So she'll be also presenting with me today. So my name is Dr. Megan Nguyen, for those who I haven't met. And it's so unfortunate that we are not meeting in person, under different circumstances. But again, applaud to all of you to continue all these virtual info sessions with all the different schools I saw that you're connecting with. And we're just very excited to be here. I think for so long, we were waiting for UCI to open a pharmacy school, and it's really happening now. For those who don't know my background, I am actually an alum. I graduated from UC Irvine back in 1995. And I remember from the School of Biological Sciences, PharmSci was not a major back then. And I remember coming back for different, PPD media, days. And I would be so impressed by just the growth of UC Irvine's campus and how amazing it is for me to now come back as part of the school and provide you with this info session on our PharmD program. So I think before I get started with slides about our program, I think it's so important for you to get to know the leadership at UCI School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. And I want to introduce Dr. Jan Hirsch, our founding dean. I will have to say she is just such a unique individual. She comes with such an amazing background, such a broad breadth of experiences in pharmacy. Not only has she practiced in community pharmacy, she's also worked in managed care. She's also worked in, the pharmaceutical industry before she joined academia. And she's been, prior to coming to UC Irvine, for those who knew her, she actually was the department chair at UC San Diego. So she has over a decade of experiences in all these different individual fields. And certainly it's through her vision and her leadership that's really shaping the future generation of pharmacists that UCI will be creating. So we're very excited. I've just been, absolutely delighted to have been able to work under her these last several months. So this next slide that you're now looking at, it really represents it. And I feel like I'm kind of, speaking to a group that probably knows this so well, but I just want to reiterate, UCI is so unique, right? When we look at UCI Health Affairs, that larger umbrella, it really covers not just the College of Health Sciences, but it also covers UCI Health, right? So let me just start with the left-hand side here. Under the UCI's College of Health Sciences, I think all of you know, the School of Medicine has been around for quite some time. The School of Nursing is relatively new, but certainly, such a highly sought after program by many of the undergrads, as well as its professional degree program, its graduate level programs. And then the new School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Now, even though I say new, obviously, all of you know the Pharmaceutical Sciences program and department is not new. It's been around for quite some time and has really served as the strong foundation in which the PharmD program is being built upon. And then there's the upcoming School of Population and Public Health. But again, as all of you know, the program in public health has been here for quite some time. And we're just very excited to be working with all our different schools and combining our efforts as we deliver our interprofessional education, within the PharmD program. In addition, under the College of Health Sciences is our Integrative Health Institute. This Integrative Health Institute is very unique because it's really looking at the whole patient approach. So it's looking at all different types of treatment modalities, from traditional medicine to complementary medicine to lifestyle modifications. It's really looking at the entire patient and really using science, the science background, when we're looking at integrative health as well. And then to the right is UCI Health. When we think of UCI Health, we oftentimes think of the main campus, right? The UCI Medical Center out in orange. But really, it's not just the main medical center that we have under UCI Health. There are over 100 ambulatory care clinics that are associated with UCI Health, and that number is continuing to grow. And not only is the medical center growing, but I'm sure all of you have heard the news. Back in January, there was a press release that came out where there is going to be a new hospital site opening just off of Jamboree and near campus. So literally on our campus background, right? And what that really demonstrates is just UCI is growing. It's continuing to expand. This medical center will be open, not just, starting to see patients in 2022, but I think what all of this represents as well is a great opportunity that our students are going to have, right? So not only are they going to have access to the main medical center campus in orange, but they'll certainly have easy access to this particular medical center. And, again, patients will be seen as early as late 2022. And I believe the hospital will be open, a few years after that. But what a wonderful opportunity for our students moving forward. So when we look at the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, all of you are very well aware of its undergrad program. Certainly the pharmaceutical science faculty will be teaching in the PharmD program as well. There are over 500 undergrads here. It's the first standalone BS PharmSci program in the state of California. I know there are a number of programs now, but we're very proud of the fact that this has been sort of just, the premise of the development of thinking about the School of Pharmacy as it was moving forward. In addition, there is the master's program, as well as there are over 40 PhD candidates that are in the PhD program through the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. So all these three programs have been here. So really, when we say the new School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, it's really only, the PharmD program, the Doctor of Pharmacy program is such a small fraction of the entire school, right? Which has really had such amazing growth and just wonderful productivity. So when we look at our Doctor of Pharmacy program, we have been admitting for our fall class starting in this fall, 2021. The max class size we will ever host or admit, at least for the first 4 years, will be 60. We are taking into consideration COVID classroom capacity. And so for our first cohort, we do plan to have a smaller cohort. I think it's very important as we were looking at, I know UCI just sent a new announcement saying, we're going to increase our class capacity, but just a few months back, it was about 50%. And, we really had to keep all of these things in mind because, for our inaugural class, we wanted to ensure that they were going to have an optimal learning experience and as much in-person classroom learning as possible. And so that's something we are taking into, very serious consideration. As we look into the PharmD program, there are many different options, as you know, in California, 3 years versus 4 years. And I think when, the leadership team at UC Irvine developed the program, it was really looking at, going for a 4-year program. There's advantages and disadvantages to all types, but I think, for us, it was important that we wanted students to have, sort of that mental break during the summer, and as well as provide students an opportunity during the summer to do, maybe extra internships that they wanted to do, or special programs that they wanted to do, or just, again, take a vacation and travel and take care of yourselves from a mental standpoint. And so we are going to be a 4-year program. And we're also very proud to say that we're the first public pharmacy school in all of LA and Orange County. I know there's been quite an expansion of pharmacy schools in the last, decade, but I think it really says a lot when the UC Regents, approves a new professional degree program. And I think what makes UC Irvine so special is that obviously, there are a number of great programs out there, but the fact that we are tied to a medical center is a huge advantage for our students moving forward. When we look at the school, there are two different departments, and all of you, again, the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, established in 2007. In 2019, they reported $7.4 million in research funding. And you might ask yourself, why does this matter if I go to the Doctor of Pharmacy program? How much money the PharmSci faculty are securing in research funding? Well, because we're collectively a school, as we move forward as a school, oftentimes schools are ranked based on research funding. And so this really just propels us and sets us up so well moving forward to be a ranked, a nationally ranked program as we move forward. So we're very proud of this, and we're very proud of all the work that they're doing, all the amazing research that they're doing, and they really did pivot. They pivoted so quickly as COVID happened, right? As COVID happened, shortly in the summer, our PharmSci faculty developed a low-cost, accurate COVID-19 antibody detection platform. And, this is so important because it really shows how nimble and how versatile our faculty are and how adaptable they are. To the right is our Department of Clinical Pharmacy Practice. And these are the new faculty. So this is the department I belong in. It was established officially in 2019. We currently have 11 faculty, and we're currently hiring more faculty as I speak right now. I just received information today that 2 more have been hired, and we're interviewing for others this upcoming month. And so it's a growing department, and it's growing incrementally. So we plan to hire a year before the curriculum starts. So we have all the faculty we need for the first year curriculum. We've already started hiring, as I mentioned, for our second year curriculum. And again, moving forward, we'll be hiring for our third year as well. And so, this is a growing department. And I think, when we look at the individuals that we've hired, the faculty we've hired, these faculty are really known for their clinical practice, their professional service, but not just that, but also their research. And you see this with our department chair, Dr. Alex Chan. He has over 150 pubs, if I've counted it correctly. I mean, an exemplar scholar as well as educator. Also recently published an article, discussing, how pharmacists face, restricted access to essential PPP items during COVID. He's internationally known. He was immediate past president for the International Society of Oncology Pharmacists. And then there's Dean Hirsch, and I love highlighting this research paper that she published again last year. And I could go on and on and on about all the different research that's going on, even with our clinical faculty. But I think this particular one is really going to build the culture that we're trying to have at UCI School of Pharmacy. So this particular research that she published last year, really was looking at patterns of stress, coping, and health-related quality of life in Doctor of Pharmacy students. And she did the study when she was at UC San Diego, and she and I are just very excited to be able to continue looking at this and doing a similar study here with our students at UCI. Your mental, your growth and your success as a pharmacist it's beyond just looking at your academic success, right? Like we truly want to see you succeed, on a personal level as well. And that also means making sure that we take care of all of these other aspects, right? Taking care of your mental health as well. And so, these are all things as we have been looking towards, creating that first class, creating the packages that come with the first class, creating equal opportunities for our first class, all of these things were taken into consideration. And I think some of you may have already heard the rumors, right? For our admitted students, when we talk about providing equity to the patients that we're taking care of, we wanted to create an equitable educational experience as much as possible, right? For our incoming students as well. And so, we decided, especially with COVID-19, and we saw how much remote learning had to happen, we wanted to make sure that our students are going to be equipped in the event that we have to go to remote learning, or in the event that we have to do some hybrid at, who knows what will happen in 6 months or a year from now, that they had, the laptop, they had an iPad that was compatible with what we needed to do, right? That was compatible with what the School of Medicine students were going to have. And so these were things that we wanted to make sure all students had equal access to. So what else makes us unique? So I'm very, very, I think I can't emphasize enough how just amazing it is to join a school where the pharm-sci faculty are already here. They're already here. They've already taught, right? They've already been doing their research. They've already been, just immersed in this whole culture of education. So it's not like it's a lot of new schools, when new pharmacy schools, when they start off, not only do they have to hire their clinical faculty, they have to hire their pharm-sci faculty. We started off with already having just an entire group of pharm-sci faculty where we didn't have to hire, and that were eager and excited to be also part of the Doctor of Pharmacy program. And so this strong scientific foundation is really the underpinning of the PharmD program as well. It's the underpinning of not only the educational experience you'll have, but also the research experiences you'll have, and it'll translate into the clinical experiences that you'll have as well. So I mentioned earlier that, our students will have an opportunity and will be prioritized, certainly at UCI Medical Center and its affiliated clinics. You'll definitely be receiving rigorous clinical training there. But, we're also expanding. We understand that it's important to have diverse experiential experiences. And so we are currently, and have developed clinical affiliations throughout Orange County as well as LA County. And we're continuing to develop those affiliation agreements in Northern California as well. I will say that the UCs have been very, very just very gracious. The 3 UCs are working together as we're looking at rotation sites. And so it's been great to be, to be able to connect with UC San Diego and UCSF as we're looking forward, and towards, what research, what rotation opportunities are for our 3 programs. And then I mentioned earlier already our integrative health approach, right? We have our Integrative Health Institute, and our students will not just have experiential rotations, in the traditional rotation sites that all of you are probably familiar with, but our IPPE, our Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experiences, will also have an integrative health IPPE, right? So we want students to truly understand what that means. In addition to that, when we think about our curriculum, every school is expected to provide some level of interprofessional education. But when I came to UCI and I interviewed and I asked them about their interprofessional education, I was just blown away. I mean, to be able to have our pharmacy students be co-seated with students in the School of Medicine, the School of Nursing, and the School of Population and Public Health, starting from year 1. So fall this year, our students will already be co-seated with the other health disciplines, learning right together. And I think how amazing is that? How best to not just introduce them to, pharmacy education, what our pharmacists are able to do moving forward, but, to really build that backdrop, right? For us to develop that teamwork, that team spirit very early on. And so that was something that was just so unique because it's not just the experiential setting where our students are going to have that experiential education, but it's really starting from, fall year 1, and it's going to continue throughout your 2nd year, as well as your 3rd and 4th year. So that truly was, I was truly blown away. And so, again, we are working alongside these other programs to continue to develop as we move forward. And then this 5th icon, I think when I came here, what really stood out to me was hearing Dean Hirsch talk about what she wanted to do in the community and what she wanted our pharmacy students to do and our future pharmacists to be able to do. And that's really advancing healthcare equity and advancing healthcare equity for all populations. And so that's why you'll notice in our, in our supplemental questions, we ask a question about this, right? Because we want to know, even from the get-go, what are you thinking about it? What are you thinking? Because this is something we plan to continue to nurture and continue to foster as our students move forward. So how else? Yes.
Oh, sorry to cut in, but I'm not sure if you've been seeing my messages. There's about 8 more minutes before we begin the Q&A. So go ahead and take your time with the
I
rest
will
of the
wrap up.
presentation.
Okay, sounds good. So we certainly have also a very small class size. I already mentioned that earlier. So that really provides a low student to faculty ratio. And then our pass grading system. This is something that all the UCs are having. And I will say I did go through a pass not pass system myself. And I think it really builds a culture of everyone helping each other. And, lo and behold, I was very surprised to also learn we already have an alumni network. When I came here, there is a UCI Anteaters in Pharmacy. As all of you know, UCI is the #1 feeder program nationally for pharmacy schools. And so we've already created an alumni network for our PharmD students as well. So I will not belabor these next few slides too much, because I think it really just, is, it really, again, I just want to resonate or maybe just highlight one thing, what Dean Hirsch is saying. We want to be able to have pharmacists to be our future problem solvers, right? Our team players and leaders who will drive transformative changes in the healthcare system. And, I was going to have Hedy talk about our admissions processes, but I think a lot of this is already available on our website, and I'll just leave the last, bit of time left for our Q&A. Hedy, if that's okay with you.
These guys are so on top of it. I'm sure they looked at that thing backwards and forwards. And so I almost feel like I don't need to talk because I know they're on top of it.
Okay. But before we do our Q&A, I actually do have to mention this as a part of our accreditation status. We are asked to provide our accreditation status anytime we do a presentation like this. So I'm very proud to say we did receive pre-candidate status, which allows us, right, to seat our first class. And we were also WAS accredited just this past year. And so more to come if you, get our interview date, and you'll receive all that information as well. All right, so I'll go ahead and open it up for Q&A and stop my screen share as well.
Don't be shy.
Well, if you haven't stopped by Bison in California, I encourage you to do so. The new building is already being resurrected. I saw 2 stories of metal being formed, and I mean, it's amazing. It's going to be an incredible new building for our school. I can't sell you guys on living in Irvine because you already know what it's like to be here.
It's so great to see everyone. I miss you all. I wish I could visit you at your booth. I miss your boba sales and eating Costco pizza with you guys. But it's great to see you guys this way. I do want to touch on one thing about our admissions requirements, and this information is not exactly posted online. We understand that because of COVID, a lot of labs were kind of early in the beginning, chemistry labs may have been canceled or reduced in sizes. And so some students are off sequence in regards to their organic, especially their organic chemistry, just because they just couldn't get enrolled. I want to assure students that if they do need Chem 51 LD, know that there are substitution courses that our office is willing to accept for this current application cycle. Moving forward, we will have to reassess, but those courses in place of Chem 51 LD can be either an anatomy lecture, which is either D136 or D170. I would advise you, unless you absolutely need that lab and lecture, D170 is a 6-unit course. Don't touch it unless you absolutely have to have it. D136 is perfectly fine, but that course is only offered in the summer. I feel you if you have to take that course. And also microbiology lecture M122 is also acceptable. But if you forget or you weren't quite sure, just go ahead and email me. You all know my email, and if you don't, I'm sure Jenny can tell you. Or also our pharmd@uci.edu. Following our presentation today, I also send Dana our brochure so that she can forward it to everyone in case there are some things that you would like to look at up at a closer lens. But know that Dr. Nguyen and I this is our home campus, and so we are accessible to you.
Yeah, not in person for now.
Yes, not in person for now. But if you have any questions, just let us know. But we're happy to take any other questions if you had regarding prereqs, what to expect.
I've never had UCI students be this quiet. This can't be true.
Because they probably all
know
did their
everything,
homework
right?
already.
They already
They
know
did all their
everything about the
homework.
program. Yeah.
I'm
going to assume that's the case, that they already know everything.
I've always been very impressed with this organization, their leadership, the way they organize their club meetings has always been very impressive.
And I think those of you who may have met me before at my previous institution, certainly we were always very, very impressed by UCI's pre-pharmacy society and everything you put together. It's just really mind-blowing to see the level of professionalism that you put into everything. So it's wonderful to see it up closer now.
It's also very nice to see Tyler and not be communicating with him at 1 or 2 in the morning, which is our usual communication time between me and him.
Oh, that's not good. That means this is a historical thing with you, Hetty, because she and I communicate with each other at 1 in the morning.
When we do things for PPD, it's always our communication. Okay, is the PCAT a required for admissions? And so the PCAT is not a requirement for admissions, nor is the GRE. So you can celebrate right now.
Yeah, and I will tell you, we don't look at it at all. So, you know, I know sometimes students think if I take it, maybe they'll look at it and use it. I'll be very honest, it's not discussed. And we do have a very holistic admissions approach, but that is not discussed at all.
Any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to ask live or continue to use the chat.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. When I screen share, I can't see the chat. So I didn't even see that until now.
Okay, touch on the supplemental application. Of course, yes, I'm happy to. So we have 2 application platforms that we use. One is the PharmCast one, and the other one is UCI Graduate Division application, which we call our supplemental application. The reason why the UCI Graduate Division application is required is because that is for our onboarding process. And so when a student is offered admissions into UCI, and if the SIR positive means they choose to admit into our program, then we want to make sure that all their academic records, everything that they have on file is smoothly transitioned into our system that we use here at UC Irvine. And so therefore students do have to complete both applications. Know that we do not want you to duplicate your efforts. And so the key is this, when you ask for letters of recommendations from your letter writers, just let them know at the very beginning that they will be submitting the same letters to 2 separate platforms, one to PharmCast and one to UCI Graduate Division. If you tell them very early on at the beginning, it's very simple process for them. Everything else is practically the same. You can use exact same personal statement. That's perfectly fine. There is only one section that's slightly different, and that's the personal history section. Do not use your personal statement again in that section. That section actually helps us address financial need, helps us get to know your background a little bit more. I encourage everyone who wants to be considered for scholarships to complete that section. It's very important to us. If you do not, we will assume you're fine. So And everyone's shaking your head no. So go ahead and make sure that you complete that section.
And I would, I would
yeah,
encourage you, no, and I would just encourage you to really be honest and authentic when answering that, because that, you know, I know sometimes, you know, it's hard to talk about hardship, but that section really does help as we're evaluating needs and just different types of scholarships. We have so many different types of scholarships at UC Irvine, and without you writing anything there, you know, it's really challenging for us to be able to make any further decisions.
And we always encourage our students, their application, we really do look at it. We look at it backwards, forward, sideways, multiple times, so that we can get to know you better. And that helps us assess regards whether a student is invited to an interview, and also for scholarship needs. And so that's why we encourage for you to fill out as much as you can. If you worked 5 jobs, don't put us 1. If you if you are holding leadership positions, if you are volunteering in the community, please let us know. We really want to know. We don't want to find out until later on, because that does make a difference between whether someone is offered an interview, whether someone's offered admissions, and also offered a monetary a scholarship. So please do try your best to fill out the application as much as you can.
And I think, just to piggyback off of what Hetty just mentioned in terms of just being comprehensive and mindful, when you're asking for your letter writers, you know, I just had an experience last week, and I shared it with the UCLA Pre-Pharmacy Society. I actually had to call somebody who wrote a letter for an applicant because the letter was a little concerning. So, you know, just be very aware of who you're asking to write for you. We do read all of those very carefully. And if there's something that, you know, sort of makes us pause, you know, we may reach out and call, you know, whether or not it's just to confirm, you know, maybe there's some lack of, you know, maybe they said, oh, you did all this amazing work volunteering and you never wrote about it. And we're just calling to confirm, you know, what kind of work did you do, right? It could be a number of things. It could be a good thing, and it could be not such a good thing, right? But make sure you really do think about who you're asking to write your letters.
So, for many years, I coordinated the letters of recommendation service in-house for the university, processing a lot of mail and letters. And I've seen quite a lot of letters in regards to good, bad, in the middle. And so this is one of my backgrounds. And so because it is PPS, if you guys ever need a letters of recommendation workshop, I'm happy to present to the organization to give you tips on how to get letters of recommendations, what committees are looking for in letters of recommendations. Just reach out to me and I'd be happy to do that for you.
I hope you guys take advantage of her. Not that I think this group needs it, but she comes with a lot of insight.
Hetty is a great resource.
Oh, she's amazing. I was just so in awe when I used to see her at not just PPD, but, you know, those of you who don't know, she's nationally known in pharmacy schools because of her work advising. And so I was just, when I saw her file come through that she was going to join School of Pharmacy, I was like, the school's going to be a success because Hetty's here.
Please don't say that.
Student affairs, guiding students. So I was very excited that we would be in the same team.
I always tell the students in PPS, I say, you guys make me look good because you guys do all the work. And then I'm just there. They're wonderful students. I mean, it's a great collaborative effort in promoting pharmacy and aspiration as an aspirational career. So it's a very collaborative team effort that has built over the years. And so I'm very honored to be part of working with this organization.
Yeah, and I'm sure Jenny will tell you as well as past presidents, every school just really looks very highly upon this organization and the leadership. So I know that earlier there was a call out to be a board member. I would encourage all the younger students on here to truly join the board, because it makes a difference when we are reading these admissions applications. You know, that really does set you apart, you know, to know that you're a part of this organization, leading, doing all this work. it takes commitment, it takes time, it takes commitment, it takes dedication. So schools see that. Schools are fighting for the leaders within this organization. So I encourage those of you who didn't think about joining the board to join the board.
How are our new interns coming along? They're so quiet. Did I scare them away?
They're doing very well.
Good, wonderful. Any additional questions that you have for us?
Hi, I just had one question. Being that we already had a pharmaceutical sciences major here at UCI, and with this new Doctor of Pharmacy school opening up, will the curriculum look similar to how it's modeled within the pharmaceutical sciences major within the School of Pharmacy?
You know, it's different. I mean, certainly, I think there's 2 classes that are going to be similar, but we will be allowing for course waivers so that students can have an opportunity to take other electives. But other than that, even though you're taught by some of the same faculty, it's only some of the same faculty, right? It's really in the basic sciences, but the depth and the breadth and the content will still be very different from what you learned as a pharm sci undergrad. And then you have all your clinical faculty teaching all the different therapeutics, right? I mean, all of that is starting from year 1. You know, students will be learning getting their immunization certification year 1, right? So all of that will be taught by our clinical faculty. So yes, you'll have some of familiarity with your pharm sci folks, but even the material they're teaching is going to be different.
I think that's a great question to ask because your UCI is home to us as undergraduates, but your experience when you're in a PharmD program is going to be almost very different. It's a very intimate, even smaller group. You're going to have mentors. You're going to get to know your mentors very well, but also the experience and the quality of education and your clinical experience is all going to be very eye-opening. So it is definitely going to be very different from your undergraduate experience.
Yeah, I will say just because of the sheer small class size that we plan to have even moving forward, that's going to give you a very different experience, right? I mean, all of you have experienced class sizes of 200, 500, you know, I mean, I understand, I've been through it, and it's hard not to sometimes feel like a number, or hard to sometimes feel like, how do I get access to my faculty? You know, when you're in a professional degree program and given the class size that we intentionally had and are developing, there is, you know, it was developed that way with the intent so that we can provide our students with the appropriate mentorship and guidance to see their successes moving forward, right? And so it will have a very, I don't want to call it a private school, but it'll have a very private school feel, even though it's a public school. So you get all the benefits of being at a public school, having a medical center, but then a very small class size.
And you'll have the opportunity to work with professions in other schools as well, including our School of Medicine. So it's going to be very different, excitingly different, but you'll also be working very hard.
But I think that goes to say with, you know, I mean, I think any strong PharmD program should be able to prepare you. And in order to prepare you, the curriculum is going to be intense. I'm not going to pretend to say it's not going to have a high rigor, right? A high scientific rigor. So that's only to best prepare you to be able to take care of the patients that you're going to be serving one day.
But be very confident in the foundational courses you took here at UCI. They are also very rigorous. So UCI students tend to do very well. And so I have a lot of confidence in all of you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Nguyen and Hetty, for coming here today and giving this very informative presentation on the new UCI Pharmacy School. I see everyone's already giving a nice warm round of applause. We really appreciate both of you guys coming out today.
No, thank you so much for the invitation, and I'll be looking forward to seeing your names come through our desk or our computer screens as we move forward. So thank you all.
And then I'll be following up with an email to you, Dana, with that brochure so that you can forward to the rest of the club members.
Oh, definitely. I'll be looking out for that.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good
All
night,
right.
everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Actually, before you leave, could we get a quick group photo?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Actually, we need to save this for our archives too.
I'll go ahead and send it over to you guys as well. All right, Chantel, she's going to be taking our photo.
Yeah, I'll be taking the photo. I'll do a countdown so that everybody's ready. So 3, 2, 1, cheese. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone.
Can we do it with the Zot?
That's right. How can we not Zot?
This is our home campus.
Yes. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1, cheese.
All right. See you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Oh, I miss her so much.
I know.